This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air. And welcome to the Otago Institute podcast, the OI podcast, in-depth conversations with experts from the worlds of arts, sciences and mataranga Māori, brought to you by the Otago Institute, the Otago branch of the Royal Society for Arts and Sciences. Te Aparangi. Kia ora, I'm Dr. Barb.
And kia ora, I'm Trudy.
And today in the studio we have the amazing Tahu Mackenzie. Woo!
Koutou. It's lovely to be here with you all. Thank you for having me. Kia ora koutou.
And we are very excited. Now, Tahu, tell us, what did we decide to call this episode?
In service to the living world.
And why did we go with in service to the living world?
Because I feel that's why I'm here.
Here in the studio or here in general terms?
Here in general terms. Here on our beautiful paradise planet. Yes.
Fantastic.
So that's what I'm conceptualising my life as at the moment.
Well, that's fantastic. And you're doing, as always, an amazing job of that. And we've got lots to catch up with, because after years and years of being the spokesperson for Orokonui Ecosanctuary, and how long were you at Orokonui?
16 years.
16
I know.
years.
And the band played there when they first got the land.
Wow.
So it was actually like 20 years or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Do you know that we actually got married just before the fence for Orokonui Ecosanctuary closed? And because we were living overseas at the time, we didn't have the ability to have presents gone with us. So for our wedding, instead of having a wedding registry, we got an old fence post out of the sheep yards and banged it into the bit next to where the reception was, and people pinned money on it.
Wow.
So we could buy fence posts for Orokonui Ecosanctuary.
That's so
and so there's a whole
beautiful.
group of them along the side there that our wedding guests bought for us.
Nice.
See?
How nice is that? Yeah.
We're all connected.
All
We are.
connected, yeah. Because we've got friends who got married at Orokonui out there on that beautiful deck overlooking the whole of Orokonui Ecosanctuary. But of course we got married too soon, just 6 months
Just
too
do it
soon.
again. Just get married
We've
over
already
and
had
over
2
and over
weddings.
again. I'm supposed to be a celebrant
Are you?
many times over by now. So
Yes. Well,
2026.
2026, then we'll do that. Because that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Although I'm never really in favour of people doing second weddings.
It's about what you want.
Vow renewals, because I always think like
Don't worry
there's
about
rocky
other
stuff
people.
happening. That's why they've had a vow renewal.
Don't
Not
worry about other
necessarily.
people. Just
Like,
do what you want,
things
Barb.
to change.
Just be you,
You might
Barb.
want to change.
You're a big fan of wedding ceremonies, are you there, Trudy?
Yeah, like I've been married how many times? 0.
Well done, T. Rudy.
I like weddings. It just means so I want to get married.
Right,
Speak
true,
your
that's
truth.
true.
Yes.
I like weddings too, actually.
I like weddings.
I
I
think we
wanted
need
the
more-
tuckahe to be the ring bearers and have the rings in their
how
neck.
gorgeous would that be?
And then you shake the pallets and they would come running with the rings.
Would they do that?
Yes.
That would be so
They're
cool,
very
wouldn't
food
it?
oriented.
And of course you would get married up there, would you?
I don't know.
Well, because now you're not there anymore.
Multiple ceremonies.
Multiple ceremonies,
It would be
yes.
there and Allen's Beach, which is my
Right.
favourite.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, because we had multiple ceremonies. We had one here in New Zealand, and my husband's German, so we had one in Germany because neither of our families travel. We're the lone sheep that travel in our families. Yes, but anyway.
Multiple everything. Very good.
It's just sit here and make sheep noises for the rest
Nothing
of the
wrong with that. We can do. This is our show.
Yeah,
We can do
it.
anything that we
Yes,
want.
can. Right. Now, of course, before Orokonui Ecosanctuary, you were out on the peninsula.
Yes, and I am from out that way anyway.
Right. Is that where you were born? Like
Yeah.
brought up like?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I lived in Broad Bay, up a tree or in the sea, quite literally.
Wow.
I have a scar on my hand from a crab that I got
Really?
at Broad Bay Beach, yeah. And then Mum and I went to the UK and all
Right.
that. And then I ran away and I came back here.
Didn't really run.
Yes, I flew away.
And came back to New
Came
Zealand.
back here.
And then there was still
At the aquarium.
At the aquarium.
Yeah,
that's
so that was
right.
my first job.
And that was really education
Yeah.
with kids and that whole, what are these things in the sea? What sort of things did you have there?
Touch the touch tank.
The touch tanks were
Yeah.
so beautiful. So we had a lot of, in the touch tanks, like the intertidal creatures.
Do the animals not mind being touched in the touch
Well, when
tanks?
I was, custodian, kaitiaki of the touch tanks, I was very, intense about respectful touching, obviously, keeping them underwater and only touching them in a way that they felt comfortable with. Touching with eyes.
Touching with eyes.
Touching with heart. Touching with modi. Very respectful.
Yeah.
But I was the human camouflage crab because I had the very ornate dreads with all decorations in them at the time. And I used to get in the tanks and clean the tanks. And they'd put up a sign that said, the human camouflage crab. And it was very exciting.
Oh, that sounds hilarious.
It was beautiful. And we did these cool experiments with the camouflage crabs where you'd put them in a rainbow tank and you'd give them all the different seaweed and then you'd give them beautiful fabric and they'd decorate themselves with beautiful fabric.
Oh my goodness.
Is that an experiment or is that torture?
No, well, they're quite happy. I mean, it's still their life way because they're decorating themselves. They
They've
just
done
have
that
more
with
options.
They've done that with, now I can't remember what it was. It was some sort of insect and it's like our
Hine rakatori.
Yes, it's exactly with the cocoon.
Yes.
But this one, it wasn't hine, but it was very similar life stage. And this one instead, like they decorate it with whatever is around because that's the best way to camouflage yourself, right? But this one, I saw it and it was in the National Geographic and they had put the little larvae that were making the cocoons in a thing with flaked gold and precious gems.
It's the stony case caddisflies.
Oh, yes. And oh my God, it was so beautiful because they just like this, all this like glitter and gold, but in the most amazing kind of.
Yes.
Like,
do you still have henna's cocoon?
I do.
In the roof of your house?
I do, yes. Would you like it?
Oh, no, you should keep it forever, but it would be really interesting to look at that cocoon and see what she's made that cocoon from.
Oh.
From your garden.
Yes, that's true.
And, I just think it was so incredible.
Tahu's talking about, because of course I had all this moth things going, and at some point with the kids out at Kura, we were growing moths. Like we had some kawakawa leaves and we had some kawakawa caterpillars, and the idea was that we were watching them through their life stages to see them grow up to be kawakawa moths. But of course we had other caterpillars or moth eggs on some of the vegetation that we had there at the time, and then it was all in amongst everything. And then at some point Tahu was visiting and it's just this cocoon.
It was so meant to be.
I know, and it was so high on our ceiling that we couldn't reach it. So, hopefully it's all sorted itself
out. It's a tohu for you. And it happened just the right time. And I think that she came from the wild. I think she came in from the wild.
Could have done. There's a lot of bush all around where we are, and there's,
to bless you and bless that project. That's why she came along.
Yeah, no, so it's very, very exciting.
So
I can't believe you remembered that.
Of course. I was very struck by it.
Yeah.
It showed that we were on the right track.
On the right track. There you go. Yeah, so the aquarium, and then I guess after that you moved to Orokonui.
Yes, I've only ever had 3 jobs. I'm on my 3rd job
On your
now,
3rd job,
so
that is
I'm very
amazing. And so now you are, tell us about your new job. This is all very exciting.
Yeah, well, I never thought
Back on the peninsula.
Yes. So I've gone boom, boom, boom. I've just gone across the harbour twice, which is wonderful.
Do you have a boat?
I do now. Yes.
Is it a speedy boat?
Boats. Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I've got the Monarch and the Vivian J. And the Vivian J is going to be my special education boat.
Wow. Oh, that's so
I'm very grateful because the sea is my first home.
Wow.
I love the sea. I love being on the sea.
That is cool.
I'd love to live on a boat. I'd love to learn to sail and sail around the world. Anyway, so about a year ago I had a dream. And I was standing on this headland and I was looking at the pyramids, at Aotearoa, but from the other side, so from the seaside.
Oh, right.
Right?
I don't think I've ever seen them from that
Neither
side.
had I. And so in the dream, I'm looking at the pyramids from the other side, from the seaside, and I'm talking to a Swedish scientist lady, so she's going to turn up at some point, about the hoiho's microbiome.
Oh, right.
Yellow-eyed penguins' gut flora, right? So this is how I'm going to
This is a very specific dream.
I know. So this is how I'm going to help them, right?
Right.
And anyway, so I had that dream, And I was like, right, I'm being called to help the hoiho now. So I'd met the boys that own like the opera and the Monarch and everything. So I went to them and I said, well, look, if you need anyone to set up your education program for you, I'll do it. And they said, when can you start? And then it's just gone from there.
I like the American accent you've got there.
Thank you so much. They're beautiful people. And so, so I started in May.
Right.
And it's been a literal dream come true.
And this is going to be your first summer there, isn't it?
Yes. I know.
Exciting.
It's so exciting.
Yeah. And
So, sorry, what do you mean by the opera?
So it's the Otago Peninsula Ecological Restoration Alliance, Te Rudi. Yeah.
It's quite a long name if you say it all out.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's good that you asked that because honestly,
I thought we were going to be talking about which I could do as well. But
Of course you can. You can do anything, Te Rudi.
yeah. But yeah.
so we've got the opera and we've got Stop.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the Otago Peninsula
Yeah.
and we've got
OPBG.
yes.
What's that?
Otago Peninsula Biodiversity Group.
Yeah. So
And
we-
that's separate from Stop.
Yeah.
So Stop is all about
In the name of love.
about saving the
Get rid
Otago
of all the
Peninsula.
possums.
And they
Get
almost
over. There's one lone naughty possum that they haven't found yet.
Right.
and they know it's there because they've got tracking cards or heat
Yeah, and
sensors
chew cards
or
and
chew
heat
cards.
sensors and camera traps.
Just
and-
can't quite get it yet.
They will.
But that's the possums. How are they going on the mustelids, do you know?
At the moment there's a network of rabbit-proof fences, and some of which are on the opera land. And the idea is to do. Well, this is what you were talking about. Do you remember?
It is,
Yes, yes.
Now, listeners, she's pointing her finger. Things are getting
Dr.
serious.
Barnes, yeah. Finger out, index.
yes.
So we're doing the staged peninsula eradication.
Right, yeah.
And that is a collaborative stage.
And so all of these groups are kind of working together in different
Yes.
ways.
So from Hawani at the Albatross
Yeah.
back, there's this using the rabbit-proof fences and rabbit control.
Yeah. And
to-
eradicating behind the fence.
Yeah.
And then keeping them out of that area and then moving on to the next area and eradicating them out
Yeah.
of that area. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of
Yes.
medieval castle building, just from my time in the UK. There are very few things that I came from New Zealand, from, the landscape and the tussock and the mountains, and then I went to the UK for postdocing, and I thought I have to be positive about this somehow.
You're so
even though
strong.
all of the plants around here seem to me like noxious weeds.
Yes.
I have to somehow find the positive things. So I was like, castles. They have heaps more castles than us. They have castles. They have history.
Yes.
They have really great chutneys.
Yes.
Amazing chutneys, because we were in the north, right next to York, Leeds.
Nature
that
Watch.
Yes, Spring Nature Watch. I loved
Yes.
Spring Nature Watch, yes. But yeah, I got really into castles, and so we would go on these kind of walks and look at old castles. And what I loved about the castles was the castle keep, which is where the last retreat goes to.
Yes.
And you can just defend and defend and defend that, not forever, because all walls break every now and again. And I remember telling Tahu, like, this is how I think of Orokonui Ecosanctuary, as that's the castle keep. You put all your most prized possessions in there. But then the important bit is that you have what they call a Motte and Bailey system.
Yes.
And then outside of that, you have what's amazing is the killing field. And they
Killing
literally
fields,
call
yes.
that. And
in a loving and respectful way.
Yeah, but-
in a humane way.
Well, this
in a
wasn't. This was for
humane way.
people. Like the
No.
hordes would come running across the killing field, and you
Lovely.
could, pick them off.
Just
We can
mow
do it in a
them
humane
down.
way now.
But also, the killing field was there as a deterrent, because people would know that it was, and the name is there to give it the kind of extra spookiness. Yeah. And of course, people don't tend to run across it. And I think there's a little bit of that with predators as well. You have a vast open space that's easy to be.
Yes.
Anyway.
So it will be wonderful when, that we are making progress with that.
Yes, and it will be wonderful. And then it will be wonderful when we can make the edge of Orokonui come round. So keep the castle, keep there of Orokonui, and then just the edge bits. And then we've got the whole harbour on both sides.
Yes.
What a fantastic. I hope I live long enough to see it, because I would love to hear the birdsong going across the harbour.
Yes, you will. And you'll live on anyway in myriad forms. Yes. But yes, we've got 257 hectares that we're replanting. And we're right at the start of that.
Right.
We've planted
And
about
how can people-
40,000 native trees so
amazing.
far. I know, it's very exciting.
How can people help with that effort?
So if you go on the Opera website,
Yeah.
you can actually buy a tree for $20 and it gets GPS'd, and then you can go and find your
And
tree.
you know where your tree
You
is.
know where your tree is. You
Wow.
can come and hug your tree.
Are you allowed to pick which tree you have?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Lots of beautiful different native rako to choose from, but you can also come and plant. We're going to be doing heaps of community planting days.
that would be
coming up.
So
fantastic.
where is the area?
It's 45 Pakeho Road. So it was Penguin Place
Oh,
for
yeah,
40
yeah,
years.
yeah.
And that amazing whānau, the Magruder whānau, have just created the most incredible protected habitat in terms of the QE2 blocks that are there and separating off the penguin reserve and making all the beautiful A-frames and network of trenches and hides, and it's really, really beautiful environment.
And absolutely Tahu took me out there a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And just the views from up there on the
I know,
headland
it's
looking
amazing.
right
Yeah.
out across the ocean.
Yes.
It's absolutely amazing. And you
Yes.
can go on trips now, can't you?
Yes.
You can go out to the opera and
Yes.
someone will take you on it. There's a little, the visitor centre's like a little shipping container type thing, isn't it? And you can book tickets and things.
Yes,
there.
so we're open every day and you come along.
And can you book in town as well?
Yes, you can book in town through the iSight and you can book online, and the Monarch vehicles can pick you up from town and take you out.
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
ride out
Can you do like
on
a
the
joint thing
Monarch.
with the Monarch?
Yes, you
Oh,
can
see,
ride
that
out
would be
on the
lovely,
Monarch.
Can
wouldn't
you
it?
Back
take
on
your
the Monarch.
bike?
Take your bike with port to port, yes.
But not on the Monarch, so you can't cycle back to town.
No, but
Not
you could
yet.
with port to port.
Yeah.
And
So
that's a good idea.
Yeah, and port to port, Rachel with port to port, she will go from Back Beach on
Yes.
our side, on the West Harbour side there,
Yes.
and you can take your bike over there, and I think she can drop you either at Portobello or I
Yes.
think there might be an option to, don't quote me on this, I think there might be an option to go to Wellers Point.
Wellers Rock, yeah.
Wellers Rock.
So beautiful. Wellers Rock Point.
Wellers Rock Point.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, because now that we've got the cycleway that goes all the way around, there's so many options. And
So beautiful.
like combining either the Monarch or the cycling.
Everything.
We're just combining everything.
Everything.
And especially with summer coming up.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
And
It's
cruise
unlimited.
season starting.
In cruise season starting.
Yes. So we have a penguin hospital on site, which is really wonderful. So it means that we can care for the hoiho and their babies and the korora and their babies and any random penguins that might just arrive from around the world, like king penguins and emperor penguins.
Have you had some of them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
They just turn up. I
Amazing.
know.
Just every now and
So
again one turns
yes,
up.
so beautiful.
Isn't that amazing?
So we can look after them.
And of course,
But
you work
also-
quite closely with the wildlife hospital
Yes,
as
we're very
well, don't you?
fortunate. So that's really wonderful, and it means that we care for up to more than 150 beautiful hoiho
it's
every
amazing,
year
yeah.
in conjunction with Wildlife Hospital.
yeah.
And it means that people can see them respectfully.
Yeah.
So we have that space. People can go and view them. They're not
Yeah.
aware that we're there. They're not disturbed in any way.
Yeah.
But it means that that whole advocacy and seeing them up close, seeing the beautiful feathers,
Yeah.
and, you know,
And
everything like that is possible, which is great.
And I always am telling people that, you know, it's really important to be able to see
It is.
some of our wildlife up close like that
It
because people value what they have a connection with,
yes.
what
True.
they know, what
Yeah.
they've seen, and
Yes.
that helps us advocate for them.
Yes.
And you know, that's I'm a bit two ways. Like I sort of we had visiting whales in the harbour not long ago,
yes.
and I thought, how amazing was that?
It's so beautiful.
Just and someone, you know, it's always on the whale watching site on Facebook when some whales around
Yeah.
to go and see, and someone said, "Oh, did you not? It was right there in Carey's Bay. Did you not go out and see it?" And I was like, "Oh, I kind of feel like I'm really happy that there are whales, and I'm
Yes.
really happy that they're out there doing their thing."
Yes.
But I just don't feel the need
No,
myself
no.
to go and see them because I feel like if I was a whale
Yeah.
in and around, I'd just like to be having a bit of quiet.
Just being whale.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
must have been feeling a
Having a
little
whale
bit,
of a
have a
time.
whale of a
Yes,
time out
yes,
there. So I am a little bit like I can see, and what I really like is when you can have these opportunities to see something or you know, even with like Sirocco with the kakapo,
Gorgeous, yes.
where you have the opportunity, but
Yes.
without imposing them
yeah.
without disturbing them. And I think, if they're there being cared for and they can't tell that you're there, that's the perfect opportunity to do that.
Yes, and then the rest of the time you're totally in their habitat and you're, again, obscured in the trenches or in hides, so they don't know that you're there.
Yeah, right.
And they can just go and do their thing, and it's very, very respectful, and I really love that. And this is incredible when you think this was 40 years ago, that this was all being developed and the trenches were being dug by hand.
And thank goodness it was.
I
because
know.
where would we be now?
Oh, a very different world. So it's a beautiful, beautiful kaupapa to be part of.
Yeah, but I can't
Loving
wait.
it.
I can't wait to see the whole of the peninsula reforested.
Yes.
Really can't.
It will be so
It's going to be
beautiful.
fantastic.
Yes. And the kaka will be back. I mean, they're already over there. They're already visiting. So they'll just be everywhere. And your fluffy-bottomed moth, Dr. Barb, will be in great profusion.
Ichnutica barbara.
Ichnutica barbara will be
Ichnutica barbara.
fluffy-bottoming.
It's got a little yellow fluffy bottom. That's how you can tell it. Ooh. Anyway, Dr. Robert was down, and we did a beautiful interview with him not so long ago. And he has said that when he comes down in the summer next time, we're going to do a field trip out there.
Great.
And we're going to go. So we'll have to get in touch with you, Tahu.
Yes, in the schools and do ahi pepe with them if you want to.
Well, I was just going. We're just going to go on a little field trip and see if we can find Ichnutica barbara first. But then possibly with schools.
Exciting.
Exciting. You're welcome to follow us, Trudy.
I don't need to. I live out there and we have moths.
It can be like the whale. She'll just be happy,
Just be happy
you
that
and
it's
Dr.
there,
Robert
yeah.
are there having a whale of a time.
Yeah. I could see from the look on her face that she wasn't particularly enthused about the idea.
Well, I was just thinking, oh my God, how many moths have the cats eaten, and are they any of Barbara's moths?
No, they won't be. No. My moth's out there on the little scrub bushes.
The cats obviously have very fine taste.
Well,
They're eating bugs.
the rabbits are dying hard, I have to say. Yes.
Delicious.
Yes, well, that's one of the problems when you knock out a large proportion of the predators, then you get this explosion of rabbits.
Yes.
And, the smaller predators as well, mice and...
So we're doing a cool project with the ORC.
Oh, tell us about that.
Where we're trialling the fences, the mouse exclusion fences.
Oh, nice.
Which is very exciting. So we've got these two big gullies out at the opera where there are skink and gecko. Right. And so we're trialling these mouse exclusion fences that have been trialled on the West Coast and have worked well.
Cool. Yeah.
I know.
Because mice are just so difficult to get out. And I know that they're one of the plagues, like that come back, not plagues and plague numbers, but, the things that really annoy conservation managers as well. Because, of course, we try really hard with the eco-sanctuaries dotted around the country.
Yeah.
And by and large, the eco-sanctuaries are very good at keeping, those mustelids out and the rats out, or at a very low level, and quite quickly onto it whenever there's an incursion. Yeah. But the mice are they're so small, the baby mice, and they're so squishy. That's
6 millimetres.
It's crazy. 6 millimetres is nothing. It's less than a seam
Smaller than
allowance.
your pinky.
It's crazy.
Less than a seam allowance.
I know. If you're a sower out there by chance.
Unseemly. And the mummy ruru bring them in for their babies.
And then they drop some of them alive. Oh, they're naughty.
Yes, we found that out from having cameras in the kaka nest boxes.
Really?
And then the mummy ruru moved in to the kaka nest boxes.
And they had live mice there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't put a fence up in the sky, can you?
Not yet.
No. Well, nor would you want to, because you're going to hit the birds as well. And
you don't want to try to control these other life forms. No.
But what you have to do is keep those mice in sensible proportions, because some of their native predators are in such low numbers that they're no longer able to fill that slot, that niche in the food web there. And so until we get things a bit more back in balance, then we've made such a mess of things that
I have full faith in us. I
I
love us.
You're a very faith.
Well, I just think that's what works for me. You've got to do what works for you to maintain yourself and your emotional energy.
Yes. And I try and be positive.
Well, you are. You are very positive, and you're full of curiosity and vim and vigour and zest. That's what we need.
Vim and vigour and zest.
Nice work, Dr. Barb. And you, T. Rudy.
What about you, Rudy?
What about me?
Are you full of vim and vigour?
Yes. T. Rudy flavoured vim and vigour and zest.
In an
Biodiversity
understated
in action.
way, let me say that.
It's important that we all express ourselves at all times
Yes.
in a way that works best for us.
Yes, you've got to be true for yourself. You can't be
That's
true to
true.
anybody else.
Yeah, no, it's true.
That's
And,
what
you know,
we're here to
integrity is a
do.
big thing.
Well, I
Yes.
just think it's like biodiversity. It's like all living things. All living things are unique, and we're all here to contribute to the ecosystem uniquely. And that's why we're here.
And it's kind of a difference of kind of lens that you look at things through as well, because there has been, coming through from the Victorian sort of age, this very kind of taking people out of the ecosystem.
No.
And then thinking of the ecosystem as a separate
No,
thing.
no.
Whereas if you look through Te Ao Māori, it's very much of people as part of that
Yeah.
ecosystem. And I think even in Europe, they have national parks there, which
Yes.
have farming in them because
Yes.
you know they've had 5,000 years of farming there, and they've
Totally.
got, you know, so there are different ways of looking
Absolutely.
at ecosystems and conservation, and I think
And we're all learning together. And I think it's really important that we allow ourselves to learn together. And at Opera, it's been really interesting because it was a working sheep farm, you know, for more than 100 years. And since the boys have taken it over, they've, you know, sold the sheep. And you know all this anyway, but now there's guanaco there, the other ancestral form of the camelids, so the llama and alpaca. And they're beautiful, and they've got beautiful big eyes and eyelashes, and they're very
I can
elegant.
see why you're an admirer of them. Tahu.
Love them. And you feed them and everything, and it's really beautiful. And then we have the awapawa lambs, and we have Salty and Louie, these huge sheep, and they washed ashore. They washed ashore on Pipikaratu Beach. These sheep.
From where?
I don't know.
Did they wash ashore? Did they swim there?
Well, they were
Yeah.
shipwrecked. They were sheep-wrecked.
Yeah.
Sheep-wrecked
They
on
must-
the shore.
yeah.
Sheep can swim.
Oh, good on them. 'Cause
Well, they
used
must
to
do because
swim
you
them
drink
across
them.
the harbour.
Yes, you do,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did swim across the harbour.
Swim the cows across the harbour. So impressive. So I really like that because for the kids, but for everyone, to see all the different ways that as a species we can act as nurturers with the land, historically and going forward and now and all those different approaches. And it was really cool because I found out that over in Chile and Patagonia and everything like that, the Magellanelic penguins, they hang out with the guanaco.
Oh, really?
And they love each other, and that is how the hoiho were found at the opera originally, because they started hanging out with the sheep.
How crazy!
Isn't that
I mean, I
amazing?
guess the sheep are herbivores, aren't they?
Yeah, the little
And if there's
bushmore.
if
Yeah.
there's some predator coming along, they're going to alert the hoiho.
Yeah,
vice
and
versa. So it kind of makes sense because birds do that quite a lot as well. They hang out in mixed species flocks.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone's working as an alarm call for everyone.
I think they just like hanging out as
Yeah,
well.
maybe.
I think they're just
Well,
interested in
yeah,
each
was
other.
it? Birds of a feather flock together, and all
Yes.
birds have feathers. So
Birds have feathers. Hey, so
That's true.
what else is out there at the opera to see?
Well, we're really lucky we have TT nesting there, which is really
really?
beautiful, and they're starting to come back now.
Wow.
They're starting to come back to the headland, and they obviously return to their ancestral burrows
Wow.
that they've been nesting in for a very long time. And that's beautiful. And we have all, seals and sea lions
Nice.
and all of the different wading birds and shorebirds.
Wow.
And lots of different species of beautiful rare plants. So we've got the lepidium, like the Cook's scurvy grass.
Oh, nice.
And
yeah.
through the dune system, there's lots of very interesting spiders. And there's spiders there in the QE2 block that don't balloon. And so they're a remnant population, and the last place that they're found is in Central.
Oh, wow.
So they're hundreds and hundreds of years old, this remnant population,
Yeah.
because they're not ballooning around, travel
Yeah.
around. So that's really reassuring.
When Tahu's talking about ballooning there, do you want to expand on that, Tahu?
Yes, well, spiders have this wonderful capability that I would like to cultivate within my own life, which is that they can match the electromagnetism of their body to that of plants, and then just blast off plants.
It's so
right
cool.
up to 3,000 metres in the sky into the planktonosphere, and that's how they travel around.
Yeah, and they
I'd love to
they
be able to
use
do
that.
that.
They use those magnetic forces, like the negative and
Yes.
positive, like on a battery, basically.
Yes.
And they manipulate it, and then they get up into those jet streams. Oh my
And have a
goodness!
scream.
Have a scream.
Time. Yes.
Yeah, but there's
So it's
all
kind of
sorts
like Iron Man and Spider-Man working together too.
Yes. No, it's crazy.
Marvel knew.
Like, it
Yeah.
really sounds crazy
I know.
when you start talking about it. Like, people are going, oh my goodness, they've
Whatever.
completely gone cuckoo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're paraphrasing, obviously, the science behind it. But in a sense, in essence, that is what they
Yes.
are doing.
Yes.
And of course, those big moths, those bogon moths that we found in Cardrona, so that's in Central Otago. Now,
Yes.
when we found those as part of the Ahipepe project,
Yes.
they don't breed in New Zealand.
Oh
so
my
they have come from Australia as an adult
Oh
to the Central Otago Mountains there, and we just found them in our traps. And in Australia, there's lots of them.
Yes.
So they were actually, like quite a known food source because they are quite high in, lipids and
Yum.
proteins and fats as adults, whatever. So they're quite big. Like, I'm holding out my hand here. I guess I've got an inch and a half, 2 inches there.
So bogon moths,
The bogon moths.
they didn't hitch a ride on a spaceship.
No, they hitched a ride on jet streams.
No, but
Planktonosphere.
yeah, bogons, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, yes, sorry,
Great
Trudy.
poet.
Yes,
Are they
sorry.
the great poet? Yes, the
They're the
bureaucrat.
ones that we're going to destroy your planet to make way for a superhighway, and you
Yes.
didn't get the memo?
Yeah,
no.
no.
Poet.
But can I suggest that it's entirely possible, though I have no evidence for this, that the bogon moth is named after the Hitchhiker's Guide to the
Is
Galaxy.
it? Yeah.
Taxonomists have quirky sense of humour, and there's a lot of insects out there, so they do sometimes go quirky with their names.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ichnutica.
Ichnutica, I think, means something, and right at this particular moment, I can't remember what it does
No,
mean.
that's fine, but it's great that
It's a
you
great
have
sound,
been
though.
honoured,
Yes, yes.
honoured with this naming, and
Yes.
I'm sure you will continue to be honoured throughout
It's
your
a
life.
it's a funny story
And
because
hereafter.
for years I gave Dr. Robert a lot of hassle about
can't imagine
taxonomists.
that.
I know, it's terrible. I was really, really cheeky about it, about taxonomists
and fluffy.
naming species after themselves.
Oh, yes.
Or after
Has he
other
done
people.
that?
No, well,
Dr.
Dr. Robert hasn't. He's been very good, but he has named a few odd species after people. And then, of course, it was very tongue-in-cheek that he then named a species after me. Because he knows how much I think that species shouldn't be named after people.
I think it's great.
But then, having done that, I'm, of course, very proud to have a species named after me.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
It's one of those ethical conundrums, isn't it? But anyway, there's nothing. He didn't even tell me, and he sent me the book after it was already named and published. He sent me the book and said, "Hey, have a look on page 83."
The best surprise.
It is, yes. No, it was a very good surprise. It was quite cute, and I like that it's an obscure little moth that's only
Yeah.
distinguishable by the fact
The
that it has a
fluffy
slightly
bottom.
yellow, fluffy bum.
Beautiful.
And at the time where I was working, they wanted to do a press release on it.
Yes.
But they didn't want to, they were very, very, concerned about how we describe it, like what word should we use, because they wanted to say bottom.
Yes, bottom.
Because
Yes.
it's like, is bum too crass to use in a press release? Should it be bottom? And I was like, well,
Oh, I think bum would be softer.
Yeah.
this whole kind of discussion. I don't know. It was very strange.
So it's got a fluffy bum,
it's got a
like
slight,
a Playboy bunny, like now.
yeah. It's like it's
Very appropriate.
yeah, and it's slightly yellower than its sister species.
Golden.
Gold.
Yeah, golden. It's more golden.
Resplendent.
Yes, resplendent
Shine-
golden. I'm saying
shining.
yellow, but it's not really yellow at all. It's more like a buff
Golden.
yellow, buff gold colour. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Golden.
right.
Shining.
It's a beautiful moth.
Luminous.
All moths are beautiful.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
And I think it's understated how beautiful they are
right.
because most moths that people see,
Yes.
they're either seeing a silhouette of them
Yes.
against a bright light or they're fluttering around because the moth is distraught because the light's all gone weird and I don't know where things are happening.
We've all been there.
True.
And so you're not getting the best view of the moth there, or you're seeing unfortunately dead moths that are in a light shade or in the thing, and they've lost all their colour because their colour is so ephemeral because it's very sensitive to UV light.
Yes.
So tends to be not all moths, but the colour goes very quickly, and also the scales that are on the wings that are what hold the colour disappear very quickly because they're so fragile. They just brush off. And when people say moth dust, it's not dust, it's the scales from the wings. And they are both very important for their aerodynamics, but also for the colour because
communication.
Yeah, and the colour on moths and butterflies and some birds is really interesting because it's structural colour that makes it. It's the way that the material that the scales are made
reflects the light.
Yeah, and it's structural rather than pigments.
The little blue penguin
Yeah.
has the same thing, that they're the only bird that has continued to refract the light in the same way that dinosaurs' feather scales did. It's like 60 million years or whatever.
Crazy.
And
I didn't know
they
that.
use nanofibers to refract the light in the feather to make the blue, and they're the only bird that makes blue that way.
Yeah,
The
blue is
korora.
a really odd colour. The more you start looking into blue in nature, the more odd things come about with it. But
So the Greeks went too far wrong when they didn't have a word for blue.
Possibly, yeah. But it's interesting because now with every time they have new discoveries of dinosaurs, because it's the structural colour, if you get like an imprint of the actual skin or of the scales or of the proto feathers, you can sometimes get what colour they were. Now, how amazing is that?
Yes, sir.
We should have some dinosaur person on.
Yeah, I think we need
would Marcus know. He'd certainly know about all the old penguins.
Get
him
someone.
on.
Yeah, get someone. Yeah.
So
Get us in touch with them.
I
later on.
will.
Pop that on.
I'm so grateful to you both, obviously, and on all levels, but particularly for illuminating for me the world of moths and their beauty. It's not something that I knew about before.
No,
I
that's
connected
true
with you.
until Barbara
I'm
subjected
so
us
grateful.
to
To
moths.
subject it.
Great illuminator.
Yes, and of course
you.
I got it from somebody else as well. And they got it from
That's what we're
somebody
here
else.
to
But
do.
yeah, I just fell in love with the kind of like the dense. The closest I can come to describing the colour is it's like satin. Like velvet.
Oh, true,
Like if you
yeah.
think of that really deep pile with the shadows in it and the like the depth of colour.
It's going to sound weird. It kind of
complexity.
looks like what it would touch like.
Yeah,
feel like.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
does,
that's
yeah.
exactly it.
really.
Yeah, it looks like what it would feel like.
Yeah.
yeah, which is just a strange phenomenon. But yeah, I think possibly I've got older as well, and I like those sort of subdued, gorgeous, deep colours. But then, of course, some moths have those beautiful.
Mawhero.
I know, and I
Yes.
just this morning
look.
bought these beautiful earrings.
Oh,
Is it
very
rhodonite?
nice.
It's rhodonite. It's which is
Beautiful.
a Centro Otago stone.
Mawhero.
Which is this bright pink mawhero, like mawhero the moth that's on the central, like the Inland Basin's Moth Guide. Yeah, so that's
Perfect.
Yeah. So anyway,
So I would like to ask you a question. No pressure.
Go.
No pressure. In terms of your knitting,
yes.
how has the structural complexity of the moth scales informed the artistry of your knitting? No pressure, Barb.
No, well, it's weird, but I haven't thought of it like that. No, but I should do, shouldn't I?
It's been
Is that why you
subconscious
like-
all
Maybe it's been
along.
subconscious,
It's been subconscious all along, Barb.
That might be why you like Stephen West.
It might be
Because they're quite structural.
Structurally
I
complex.
do. I like the structural complexity. I like the geometric shapes that he comes up with. And I do like the crazy colours that he puts together. Like, he's not afraid of colour. And, like, sometimes colours seem crazy by themselves, but then you put them next to other colours and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, that was meant to be.
Yes.
Like just throw a lime green into the middle of something that's not lime green and you think, like by itself you think, oh, that's lime green. But in amongst, the other colours. And I think that is a little bit what moths do and butterflies in general, in the whole insect world, is that quite often they have these little splashes of what Stephen West calls colour pop.
Colour pop, and they're seeing polarised light. They're seeing all these wavelengths that we can't see with our human eyes.
Yeah.
So it's a whole other world for them too in terms of the colours.
Yeah.
How beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Isn't it? I'm just on the latest MCAL actually. Because of course Tahu obviously knows that October is the mystery knit-along month.
I know, yes.
So yeah, every October a new pattern comes out and you get the first quarter of the pattern in the first week of October, and then you don't know what it's going to be, a shawl of some description. But you don't know how it's going to turn out until you get to the end of the clues. So you get one clue every week for 4 weeks.
And I'm very fortunate that I've known you for some time now and I can't get enough, And it's wonderful to see in all our lives these strands that mirror each other, So it's like science, the weaving together of all of these strands of knowledge and the diligence to complete these puzzles, and you're doing the same thing with your knitting and your mystery knit along, and it's like, you get these new discoveries, you get this more data, and it just progresses and progresses into this beautiful masterpiece. I love it.
I feel a little bit like Trudy and Tahu are interviewing me for this show.
I'm into it. Get used to it now, Barb.
I feel I might have lost my spot here.
No.
I do wonder.
One of the reasons why is because you're wearing this really, really beautiful knitted piece that you've created, and I'm just staring at it, and it's just inspiring me.
It is a Stephen West one as well.
So when you finish the challenge, does he then give you a photo of what it should look like? Because you could go along and create something quite different and it would still be okay. Like
he totally encourages everyone to make it theirs and go off
piece or whatever.
Yeah, as much as they like. You can get a kit from him, and there's about, I don't know how many there are, like 60 or something, different colour combinations. But he really encourages people to knit from their stash, what they've got at home, or from a local yarn shop, or just make it your own. And some people do, like, honestly, the colour palettes are all over the place. And usually he gives you, like, hints, like, for this one you probably want a gradient, or you want solid colours for this one.
So he does have an idea of what he expects to come out at the end.
Not what he expects, but what he knows will work best with that pattern.
Right.
So some patterns you want to have lots of contrast between various bits, and some ones you want a nice gradient. So he will give you hints at the start, and he gives you hints through the video and the name. So this one's called the Musical. Like a play on words, because everything's a play on words. I think that's why knitters and scientists get on so well.
And I think that it's really great when you have a puzzle, and your brain on one level, your consciousness, your modi, your wairua on one level is just holding that puzzle and allowing it to unfold and develop.
Yeah.
Not necessarily consciously, it's happening subconsciously. And the same thing with our hands. We're keeping our hands busy and we're creating something.
Yeah, there is definitely something relaxing about
apparently
handiwork
it
of some
unites
kind.
your hemispheres.
Something. Yeah.
It's supposed to be very good for your brain.
It's very
Barb
good.
is much more diligent than me, T. Rudy. I will admit that. And I have begun the MCALs many a time, and even with Barb's assistance, knitting and re-knitting components of these MCALs for me many times.
To be fair,
I have never completed any.
To be fair, I did complete last year's one with 1 week to go.
Well done, Barb.
So
strong.
But yeah, it's really good because you can just go. You can just not think about how you, because I'm a bad one for changing patterns as I go. I find it very difficult to stick to the pattern as I go. I just go a little bit to the side.
Good.
But weirdly, even though Stephen encourages us to do that a lot, I tend to stick to his pattern very carefully because I feel like I don't know what it's going to be like. He does know what it's going to be like. I can just follow along, and then my brain gets a break because I don't have to think, I could do this way or this way or that way. I just go, I'll just do it how he said.
Well, they're obviously complex enough to keep your brain.
That's true.
And he's not going to wander off.
And he definitely does for the MCALs. He always tries a new thing, so they're geometric or they're crazy with something. The latest one's got big scallops on it, which are sound waves, and welts on each of them where it's standing up three-dimensional.
So what I want you to do, Barb, no pressure, is design a microbiome-based knitting pattern for me.
Okay.
For the hoiho's microbiome.
Okay.
Because I want to harvest the microbiome from the parents.
Right.
Analyse it, synthesise it, everything like that.
Right.
Put it on the baby's food when the
Right.
babies are uplifted and taken to the wildlife hospital.
Right.
So they're still getting all the goodness from that microbiome,
Right.
as they would in the wild if they were being fed by their
That
parents.
sounds very sensible.
Thank you. So we obviously need to create a knitting pattern.
Yes.
That's the next step.
And then we can have an
Based
MCAL about it
on-
and get, he gets
Yes,
hundreds of
the
thousands of
whole
people to do it.
world
So yes,
can
that
focus on the hoiho's microbiome.
That sounds perfect. Let's do
helping
that.
the hoiho.
Let's do that.
Less than 200 left on the mainland.
The first Stephen West shawl that I ever did was the Doodler, and I did it
in
with
hoiho colours.
In
I
hoiho
remember
colours,
that's
yes.
meant to be, Barb.
Yeah.
And the lady that found out, Janelle, the lady that found out about their unique DNA, so the fact that the mainland population is genetically distinct from the sub-Antarctic Rakiura population. So we've got less than 200 left
Crazy.
of this gene pool. And whereas scientists were like, right, we can just translocate the sub-Antarctic species up to the mainland. No, we can't
because
because
they're
they'll be
different.
complete. They're morphologically different.
Wow.
So we have to save the ones that we've got left on the mainland.
That's really interesting.
She found it out by accident.
how?
It was all because she was looking at their viruses. She was looking at the genetics of their viruses, and lo and behold, she found out that they're genetically distinct in the process. So we're going through a whole thing of renaming the species. And what I want to do is get all the old $5 notes that have the old species name on it,
yes.
and get them to reissue the $5
Yeah.
notes with the new species name
Right.
for the mainland population, and we'll just use all those $5 notes to help the less than 200 that we have left. That's my plan.
That's a good
Cool.
idea.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
So where can people send their old $5 notes to?
45 Pakeho Road.
Okay, 45 Pakeho Road.
Yeah. Otago Peninsula.
Otago Peninsula.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
That would be great. I mean, that's a great fundraiser, really, isn't it?
Yes.
I think that'd be a fabulous fundraiser.
Yes, and they're going to need to, do
Oh,
something with those $5 notes. And that's what we did at Orokonui with the old 50 cent. It had the tuatara on it because they were decommissioning the 50 cents. So we were like, give them to us, the tuatara, and so we'll do the
Yes.
same, give them to us, the hoiho.
I have long thought that all New Zealand species
Yes.
should own the copyright to their image.
Absolutely. Of course
I
they
think
should.
it's really bad that Kiwi shoe
Yes.
polish uses the kiwi as its icon, and the
Right.
kiwi gets nothing from that shoe polish being sold.
Absolutely.
And that's just an example. I mean, there's heaps of examples of it. And I think that
Absolutely.
that species should own their copyright.
Absolutely.
When people are making money off of it,
Absolutely.
they should, some portion of that
Yes.
should go to, and not just that species. They might
All
want to
species.
they might want to share it with some of their, best and closest friends, or their prey, or their food source, or those things. Trudy's laughing at me again.
I support this.
No, I was just thinking about how I can copyright my own. And I
own
thought, that's right, they
beautiful
pay
image.
me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but I think, because people can, right?
Yes.
Like, if you write something, you get and you have the right to your image, I think.
And Wanganui River's been granted personhood.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
So why not?
Why not all the species? I
Yes.
think we should just go for broke.
Let's just do it. It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
it'll be fun.
Great. Yes.
I'll
we
leave
can
you to
do
think
this.
out the logistics of it, Trudy.
And with Pika Pika, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, the native
Absolutely.
bat.
Yeah. Because there's so many species in New Zealand that are in trouble for various
of
reasons.
course.
Most of the reasons derive from something we as
Human
humans
industry.
have done or not done, or, provided the destructive force to make it make them endangered. They were getting on perfectly well before we got here.
So now I'm in trouble with Neapolitan ice cream, Turkish delight and Belgian biscuits.
Yum.
Well, not necessarily, because they're just words that we call them here. Like Belgian biscuits in Belgium aren't called Belgian biscuits.
They probably don't have Belgian biscuits.
They don't have Belgian biscuits. And in fact, I have a theory about Belgian biscuits, but that's a distraction. But
Delicious
But
distraction.
food things that are specific to an area, they do have a form of copyright.
Oh, they do.
Like
and
Parmesan cheese can only be made in Parma.
yes.
But that's because of the EU, God bless them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
A lot of
those
people
things.
don't like the
and
EU.
there's it's not just
Champagne.
foods, it's champagne, it's drinks,
Conte.
it's food, it's fabrics,
art
it's
material,
art materials,
Conte,
it's all sorts of things. And I
Yeah.
think that species should have that same right as well.
Absolutely.
And I think that we should have someone on who can talk to us about
Intellectual property.
Well, intellectual property, but also the
Copyright. No.
Personhood.
oh my gosh, it's gone out of my mind.
I believe in you.
Part of Te Tiriti Waitangi
Personhood.
626.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should have Jacinta Ruru.
There you
She's
go.
the
She's
one to know all
fantastic.
about
She'd be
that.
beautiful.
And some of those people who advocated for Whanganui River
Yes.
as well, I think, because they really know the ins and outs of it. Now, we have 5 minutes left, Tahu.
Okay. I love you, Barb. I love you, T. Rudy.
What?
I love you, ORFM. I love you, the Infinite Universe. Thanks for having me.
Now, we've still got 5 minutes,
Thanks
though.
for my life. I'm so grateful to be here with you, right here, right now.
Trudy, have you got last questions?
Right now. Is there anything you wanted to say about opera that you haven't been able to say?
I'm really grateful to be there. I'm really grateful I've been called to help the hoiho. And since starting there and following my dream, so much has fallen into place for me, which is incredible. So I've got my inheritance early and I'm building my dream house out there, which is really,
nice.
really cool.
Oh, my goodness.
And in terms of the microbiome, when I had the dream, I thought, oh, yes, the microbiome is very important. But, of course, all these scientists have just started coming my way. The university has been giving me all these scientists around the microbiome research. And they have done microbiome transplants with the kakapo, I found out recently. Not the kind that I want to do. They've done the other end, but I want to do
The
this.
regurgitated
Yes.
first one.
Yeah.
But it's just been really, really fascinating. And I think applications for all kinds of different species looking at microbiome transplants will be really helpful, especially if we can understand how to culture it and have it in the hospital in a way that is specific to those chicks and their parents, and honouring that relationship, and also honouring that mate mate one, which is the manaki and the exchange between living things and their environment. And that counts for us too, obviously.
And of course,
Lovely.
people can support that through either supporting the Wildlife Hospital, which has a wonderful website, and I think they have tissues. And over Christmas, oh my God, they have T-shirts, and over Christmas you can, buy a fish feed for
And the
penguins,
opera.
and also the opera
So
has an
going
amazing.
to the opera website and looking at all of the amazing things that you can do to help the hoiho on site in their natural habitat.
Yeah, and planting the trees.
I like
I love
trees.
the tree idea, actually. And I love the idea that you can get a GPS for it so you know where it is. And, if you're, coming up to the holidays, coming up to Christmas, and you've got lots of people that you're thinking about
All
that,
over the
that
world.
may or may not be there for Christmas, whether they've passed on or they're just in a different place.
Yes.
And, rather than posting things and buying more commercial plastic, you could just buy a tree and plant it and send them a card with the GPS number on it.
That lives for hundreds of years.
Yeah,
and supports
potentially.
billions of life forms.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
cool. I used to
cool.
do that for Oxfam, so it'd be nice to be able to do something close to home.
Yeah,
you
I think
go.
it's a good idea, actually. I really quite like that idea as a Christmas gifting idea.
Good.
Hey, thank you so much, Tahu.
I love you. Thank you.
Secure.
We will just say outro
Till next time.
Till next time.
Thanks for
Mate
having
wa.
me.
Mate wa.
You've been listening to the OI podcast, the shout out for the arts, sciences and Mataranga Māori.
You can support this podcast by becoming a member of the OI. Check out the Otago Institute for Arts and Sciences on Facebook or our website.
If you'd like to listen again to this episode or others from the series, look for the OI podcast on ORFM's website, oar.org.nz.
Brought to you by the Otago Institute for Arts and Sciences, the Otago branch of the Royal Society of New Zealand.
This podcast was produced by ORFM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.